What are the various important components that are involved in compiling and running a Java program? When we start working on Java applications, the very first software that we download and install is a JDK, which stands for Java Development Kit. The JDK is comprised of a JRE, and it also comes with several commands or programs such as the Java compiler, the Java command that we use to run a Java program, and more. We download the JDK and install it for a particular operating system. There are different versions for different operating systems, both the JDK and the JRE. We can install JRE separately as well, but usually we install the JDK and the JRE. When we compile the Java program, the Java compiler will convert the Java class into bytecode, not the machine code which the underlying operating system understands, but the bytecode which is platform independent. The bytecode is only understood by the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, which we launch using the Java command. When we run our Java class file that gets generated during compilation with a Java command, it will launch a JVM that can interpret the bytecode to the underlying operating system. That makes Java platform independent. A JVM is an instance of the JRE. It is a representation of the Java runtime environment. So the platform independency comes because we can compile a Java program on a Windows operating system, and then we can take the classes and run them on Linux using the JVM on Linux, because the bytecode is understood by the interpreter or the JVM on Linux, and it can convert it into the machine code which Linux understands. JIT, which stands for just-in-time compiler, is another important component which is a part of the JVM that will interpret the code to the underlying operating system in an optimized fashion. It knows much more details about the operating system, and it converts the bytecode little bit at a time. By default, if we don't use the JIT interpreter or compiler, the JVM will translate the entire bytecode into machine code and it will execute against the operating system. Whereas if we use the JIT, it converts a little bit of bytecode at a time, and then it can do certain optimizations by inlining functions, etc., which makes our application perform better. By default, the JIT is enabled when you use a Java command. If you want to disable it for debugging reasons or whatever, you can use the -d option, java.compiler is equal to none. This will disable the JIT.